Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Last Panel. My name is Bob, and tonight we got a fun one for you as we are going to be counting down our top 10 favorite Super NES or Sega Genesis games, depending on what system you had, or maybe you had both. But I think this is going to be an interesting list because, again, we're dealing with two systems here with totally different games, so this could be something fun for us to go over. As always, I'm joined by the usual cast of characters. Warren, how are you doing tonight, man?
I am doing wonderful. It's been a very productive week for me, and I'm excited to get to this list, which one of the more difficult lists I had to put together because there is a growing list of close runner-ups on this. I was able to, I had both systems, not at once, but I did during the time period eventually get the Genesis 2, and there's just a lot of fun games on both of them.
All right. We're looking forward to hearing it. Lapsed, how are you doing tonight, man?
I'm all right. Yeah, this was a hard one. This was a rough one. I had both systems, but at very different times. I had the Super Nintendo as a kid. Kid in my teen years, but I had a Genesis as well, like when I was out on my own, and that was a system that was, I think, overlooked for a while until like Sonic came out and it actually became like a competitor. But I mean, it had been out for like 3 years, right, in the US, and I never heard anybody in like the late 80s, like 89, 90 talk about Genesis.
Right.
Ever. It wasn't until Sonic the Hedgehog came out,
right,
and Super Nintendo and stuff like that. The bit wars as they were. When nobody knew what the hell that meant. Like,
right.
This is 16-bit. You're like, yeah, and?
All I knew was 16-bit was supposedly better than 8-bit. That's all I knew.
Well, hey, look, the Atari Jaguar even had that campaign of do the math, thrown in the Super Nintendo and the Genesis in the toy chest, and it was like 64-bit. And you look at it and you're like, what? This is shit. This is stuff. Dude, this is how fucked up the Atari Jaguar thing became. Like, first of all, I'd be so pissed if like I got one, right? Because they had a few really good games. Like, really, they had like one of the best home ports of Doom, right? But there was always something with the Jaguar. There was always something, right? The controller was this big giant beast of a thing with like inlays. Like, they were still doing like Intellivision inlays on a fucking controller. But like Doom, as awesome as it was, it had no music. So it's like, there was always something with it. They had this game like Attack of the Mutant Penguins, which is one of the most bizarre games ever made, but it was fun, right? It was fun. But like every other thing that you had for it, then they came out with a CD add-on. You come out with a CD add-on for a system that barely anyone has, right? And you have to have the system to play the CD games. And then they took a bunch of old Atari Jaguar shells, and apparently the shells are used in dentist offices for those like teeth cleaning machines.
Really?
That's a real thing.
Oh. You learn something new all the day, or all the time. So.
All the days.
All the day, yes, all the day. It's been a long day. That's all I'll say. So.
I hear you on that one, brother.
All right, Gray, how you doing tonight, man?
Doing real good, man. I'm excited to be here. Like you guys, or I guess at least like Warren said, and then Lab said, I eventually owned both systems. I was way later to them, but man, this was tough to narrow down. Just so many great games on both of them, and since I got them late, I was kind of guided towards which ones are actually good. So, this was a real tough one. I'm looking forward to hearing your guys' controversial choices.
All right. Well, before we get into this any further, I want to remind everyone to go ahead and hit that like button, share the stream, and comment in the chat. We would love to see what your list is. What are your top 10 Super NES or Sega Genesis games? Now, normally at this point, we would find out how everybody got exposed to this, and everybody pretty much already said that they owned both systems. In this case, I actually didn't own both systems, but I had a good friend that owned the other system, so I was able to play both. So what I'm going to ask instead of if when you were exposed to it, I'm going to ask, what was your preference and why? Which one did you prefer? So Warren, why don't you start off?
That is a good question. I would probably have to go with Super Nintendo, even though there were some really great games on Genesis. But I had Super Nintendo first, and I just there's so many good games on it, and Nintendo just really known how to use the system. Like when I was going through this list, I was kind of shocked, like games later in the life, on how much better they looked compared to the games at the beginning. Like they really did an excellent job utilizing the 16-bit systems with both Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo as it got later before they went to the next level. And it's just I'll go with Super Nintendo. It's so close though. Like if you handed me either one, I'd be happy, honestly. But yeah, Super Nintendo was just, I think it's more games.
All right. What about you, Laps?
So Super Nintendo is what I had leaned towards, because I had the Nintendo, and so the Super Nintendo, it was interesting because like when we got the Super Nintendo, my brother, like, I was living with him at the time. Like this was about a year after I moved out on my own, so there was, it almost felt like nostalgia because we went out and combined our money to get the regular Nintendo. That was our big thing. We went out and used our own money, got the Nintendo, and we did the same thing with this. So it was kind of interesting. And the Genesis, though, what's interesting about the Genesis was I had played the Genesis a bunch growing up. I had a couple of friends that had the Genesis, right? Because it was like the Genesis was a little bit cheaper, and it came boxed with Sonic at a point in time when it became popular again. And a lot of people used it and liked it. And I just never really knew anything about it because I never had a Master System, a Sega Master System, like the original 8-bit Sega. But I was always into the RPGs and stuff like that. But the sports games a lot of them were on Sega, and they were much better. They were much better on the Sega Genesis, and they performed better. And there was something about that Genesis sound. The music on Genesis was always so interesting because it was all bow, 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 like very twangy and very weird, where the Super Nintendo was very refined. It had, except for processing, because that was the thing. The Super Nintendo outmatched it in everything except processing power. And that's where the marketing came. Blast processing. We have blast processing, everyone. That's what we have in the Genesis. And it was like, oh, okay. Well, what does that mean? I don't fucking know. So, but the Super Nintendo is what I got first, and that's what I led to. I was a Nintendo kid.
All right. What about you, Gray?
Yeah, I guess I'm not controversially jumping on this bandwagon. For me, it's all about the controller, and there's just something about that Super Nintendo controller. It's amazing, where something always felt a little too bulky about a Sega controller for me. Amazing games on both of them, but man, I'd prefer an SNES controller any day. So yeah, I'm going Super Nintendo. Bob, do you buck this trend? Are you a lone wolf on this one?
Yes, I am a lone wolf because I had a Sega and I didn't have a Super Nintendo. For me, I tended to like the sports games a lot. Now, whether some of those made my list or not, you'll have to see. But I thought the sports games were better on the Sega Genesis. I just enjoyed the gameplay better. But I thought the fighting games like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, and whatnot were a lot better on the Super NES. Like, for example, Street Fighter 2. You'd have, because you remember how the Sega had 3 buttons on it. It had the A, B, and C. So you had the high punch, the mid punch, the low punch, and then you'd have to press the start button in order to switch it to the kicks. And so that got kind of annoying. And so that was something that I liked about the Super NES better was the controller when it came to the fighting games. But the sports games, I tend to like I tend to like those better on the Sega Genesis. So, but for me personally, I still lean towards the Sega Genesis. I loved it. Maybe again, it's the nostalgia because I had it when I was younger, but I still love it. But anyway, with that being said, let's go ahead and let's jump into our list here. And yeah, 6 punches.
Orange throwing punches right away.
Yeah, I could do that, but I liked using the 3. So I was stubborn with
Made
that.
your fingers quick.
But let's go ahead and jump into our list here. Let's start off with you, Warren. Why don't you go ahead and give me your number 10?
Well, my number 10 is when I first had a Super Nintendo, my friend Sean had the Sega Genesis. So whenever I went over at his house, we would play it. And the game that we would play that I really loved was Toe Jam and Earl. So that's my number 10. Very
Nice.
Very weird game, but it was just a lot of fun. And yeah, we would play that game all the time, that and Mortal Kombat 2. And yeah, that one was my number 10. I just it had like that weird kind of like, I don't know if you want to say hip hop vibe or what it was with it, but it was just a really weird, fun game.
let me piggyback off of that with you because Toe Jam and Earl is my number 10 also.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, I love Toe Jam and Earl. It was a lot of fun, especially if you had someone to play with that second controller with, and it would become a split screen and whatnot. And you were getting chased around, by guys with lawnmowers and like crazy scientists and all sorts of stuff. So it was just a lot of fun. I loved Toe Jam and Earl, and it would suck when you would fall down a level. You remember how you'd fall down, it would take you all the way down to like a bottom level and you'd have to build your way back up. And that sucked. But overall, it's fun. I still play that game because I have the Sega Genesis Mini, and that's one of the games that's built into it. So I love Toe Jam and Earl. So that's also my number 10. So I just wanted to piggyback off that with you.
You're awesome.
All right. Laps, what do you got as your number 10?
Mine is the Genesis game. It is X-Men: The Clone Wars.
All right.
And I think that's like probably the best 16-bit X-Men game, I would have to say. Because, I mean, Arcade's... I mean, I don't know any other one that's better. Arcade's Revenge isn't. Like, it's just not.
Fair enough.
But, I mean, it was the best looking. The sprites were massive. And I thought it was a really, really great game. And I was always jealous whenever I would go over to his house because like I wanted a game like that, plus you got to use Gambit in there and it was sweet. So like that was just something that was really fun to me. Yes, you had to reset at the end of a level. Yes. It was like the second to the last, or like what do they call it? Penultimate one? Is that right? Is that what it's called? The like right before the last thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they had to do the blue reset thingamajiggy, and then you'd go back in. Yeah.
All right. I think I remember that one. Yeah, I remember that one being pretty good. That was the second X-Men game, wasn't it?
The second one. Yes.
Yeah. That one was pretty good. I thought it was a vast improvement over the first game. So
yeah, the sprites were fantastic. When you like usually whenever you would get like, except maybe for like Maximum Carnage, which was like a beat 'em up and stuff like that. But when you would get regular like superhero games, the sprites were always really small, and these were like big, like they were real big, and the control was very fluid. Like it was really, really good control for the time. And being able to use Wolverine, I always wanted them to just do a port of the arcade game, which I thought would have worked real well on the Super Nintendo, as with all the other beat 'em up games. Same with Genesis, I mean, they had their Streets of Rage and like stuff like that, where I think it would have worked fine. But, we never got that. I think the first time I got to really play through that all the way without using quarters was on the Xbox 360. There, remember the Xbox Arcade? or something like that. That game was on there, and it was fun to play with friends. And I think that it's in one of those X-Men packs or whatever those games are. I can't remember. But yeah, X-Men Clone Wars, really cool game. I like it.
All right. Good choice. What do you got, Gray?
So I got a weird one. What can I say? I inherited the system, and it came with a bunch of kind of older games, but man, it's one of them that I just spent way too much time on, and it's Super Nintendo. It's SimCity. It was even old when it got like ported over.
How is that a weird game? Like SimCity was like the number one PC game of all time at that point in time.
It was different, man. No Godzilla or anything. We had Bowser. You got the weird Mario statue. Yeah, I don't know, man. It seems like it's a different type of game, but it was my first exposure.
Popular, bro. Like super
it was
popular.
My first exposure to that type of game. And I don't know. I spent way too many hours on that particular one where I don't know what the point of it was. I guess I thought I was a civil engineer or something like that. But man, like way too many hours put in that. And yeah, I dug that one, the weird music, and then the incorporation of all of the Nintendo characters. I don't know. That's my number 10. I feel weird about it. There's better games on this list, but I wasted way too much time on that.
Dude, it didn't make my top 10, but I played that for hundreds of hours.
Oh yeah, it's on my runners-up list. I absolutely love that game.
SimCity I love it. I thought it was great. It spawned a lot of the other games like Roller Coaster Tycoon, all those style of games, and that's not I don't think those are bad games. I think they're fun. They're definitely creative. It's almost like virtual Legos, you know what I mean? Like getting stuff to make it work and do all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
The closest thing I remember playing to anything like that on the Sega Genesis was I don't remember the name of the game, but you basically had to build an airline. And you would develop the routes that it would take. You would develop your hub, and eventually, to win the game, you would have to be the number one airline in like 5 out of 7 continents or whatever, So yeah, it was pretty cool, or it was interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, I never got to play cool games like that at school. The only thing we had was Oregon Trail.
Yeah,
and that's all I did on that game was see how fast I could kill the family by just driving it forward and never stopping for anything. Well, as soon as you get a broken leg, throw her in the cabin cart. We're going.
All right. So I already gave my number 10. So it's back to you, Warren. What do you got at number 9?
My number 9 is a rare software game. And I remember them because they always did a really good job of getting what seemed to be the best graphics out of the Super Nintendo. And this was Donkey Kong Country, which was a good, fun platformer.
You might get some heat, man. There's some Donkey Kong weirdos out there, dude. Dude, if you don't put like number 2 in there, oh my god.
Well, then why would he be getting the heat? It's on his top 10 list so far.
Yeah,
it's not
but because
on...
it's so low, it's like literally number 1 on like every freaking person I ever see make a stupid list.
I heard the new one for Switch 2 was really good. I just really enjoyed it, and it was a really fun game. Kind of like it wasn't just like a Mario clone. They did a good job of making its own game.
The music too, it's so iconic. Like all the sound effects, really.
Yep. All right. So you've got Donkey Kong Country as your number 9. What do you got, Lapsed?
Mine's a Super Nintendo game, ActRaiser. So I really love this game, and I think it's probably up there for me in like the top with graphics wise. I think it's up there music wise. It had really awesome music. I thought it was cool because you start off the game as like an action platformer, and then whenever you defeat that stage, it starts off almost like a almost like a mini Sim City. Like you have this little angel, and you're a deity, and you rid these little sections of the towns of all the bad guys, and you seal up these monster layers, and you build the town. You have the angel direct where you want to build and all this stuff, and you get different spells like lightning to take away trees, all this stuff. And every so often the villagers come to you with a problem, and you got to fix the problem. And then when you seal the monsters layers, it opens up like a main monster layer, and you go in again and plays another platforming stage. Beautiful game, beautiful graphics. ActRaiser 2, I didn't care for as much, but that might be one of the probably up there. It's got to be up there in the most beautiful Super Nintendo games, but I just didn't like the way it moved. And but ActRaiser 1, man, still holds up to this day. I still go play it, and the end is fantastic because you get to the end and it's literally it's a boss rush. You play all the bosses that you fought throughout the whole game, and then you fight the end guy. Really cool game. Really cool game.
All right. Well, what do you got, Gray, at number 9?
So I got a feeling that this might trigger a reaction from at least one person on here.
Here we go.
But what can I say? I'm not into this particular type of game nearly as much as a lot of my compatriots were, but they told me you got to check out this one at least. And they were right, man. Out of the JRPGs, I totally I didn't appreciate them as much as a lot of my friends did, but man, they got me hooked on my number 9, which is Chrono Trigger. It is by far the one that I have played the most, and it is kind of weird because it is essentially these two amazing franchises that are kind of brought together for this just kind of one-off weird amazing thing. Well, I guess it didn't have to be one-off, but I digress. I think maybe others might be talking more about this. I think the fact that I've got it at number 9 is the controversial part. Sorry, I was answering Orange in the chat saying, how is this controversial? I hear you. Everyone that I know that knows this game has it way higher than number 9. I guess I'm a little bit more of either platformer or side scroller. So generally the RPG isn't for me, but man, this is the top of the RPGs for me.
All right.
What you got at 9, Bob?
All right. So my number 9 is more relevant this year than it's been in a long time. And that is Michael Jackson's Moonwalker.
Oh,
For the Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, okay. It's not like it's really one of the best games out there, but it was just fun. Okay. I mean, it was stupid because you were playing as Michael Jackson, and each level, had to do with, one of his music videos, whether it be the Smooth Criminal music video or Beat It, a Thriller or something like that. And it was cool because you could use like your magic, and he would spin around, and then everybody would start dancing, and then they would all drop down, dead. And of course, he's having to run around and save all the little kids and whatnot.
Dude,
so,
the kick, dude. The kick.
Yes, the kick. And every time he would do it, you'd see the little
twinkle dust.
Yes, the twinkle dust would come off of the kick. So and it was cool because you could moonwalk and everything. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. So that's my number 9. I don't think it's necessarily one of the best Sega games out there, but I just had a lot of fun playing it.
Dude, I played the shit out of it in the arcade, so I can't say anything.
All right. Warren, what do you got at number 8?
My number 8 is I believe was just a Sega Genesis game, but it is Earthworm Jim 2. And I loved the artwork for it, and also it's just a really fucking fun game. I mean, it was kind of like one of those funny action platformers. It was based off of a comic book character. It was just, it was all around just a really cool game. I think they eventually had a cartoon for it and a bunch of stuff. There was a while that Earthworm Jim was doing really well, but Earthworm Jim 2. Was it on both? Okay,
I think so.
Yeah, I played it on
I think it was
Sega.
better on Genesis though. It was. I think it was like kind of like Toe Jam, or it was better on Genesis.
Yeah, I played it on Sega, but that's when I remember. But I love Earthworm Jim 2. That was a great.
It's a really good game. Really good game.
All right. Oh, what do you got at number 8, Lapsed?
So number 8 I have is a Genesis game, and it's one of their few RPGs, and it's Phantasy Star IV. And I'm surprised nobody has picked this up and redone anything with this. Like, the story for Phantasy Star IV could hold up today. It literally, I go back and play it every so often, and they did put it on the Switch Online, the Genesis portion of the Switch Online. So I got to play it on like my regular size TV, but man, it's a great game. Phantasy Star was very underrated, but Phantasy Star 4 especially is great. I mean, it's not that weird, dude. It's not that weird compared to the fucking anime games that are out now. Come on, man. Look at some of the weird anime games that are out now where they're pretty bizarre. But I could see number 1 is definitely weird. I totally get you there. Number 1 is completely weird, completely bananas. But 2 and 3 are kind of normal. 4 is the most normal. Yeah, the world's basically destroyed, and you find a new world, and you start taking on some really weird missions, but you find out some really cool stuff. I don't want to ruin it, but it's good. It's really good. And I mean, they did do Phantasy Star Online during the Dreamcast, and it still blows my mind that I was able to play, if I was I was able to play a freaking massively multiplayer online game through Sega Net on the fucking my phone drive, like 56K modem in the back of a fucking Sega Dreamcast, and it didn't lag. It was insane. But yeah.
All right.
No, that's not true. I don't like just off-brand RPGs. I actually really like Phantasy Star. I like a lot of, dude. I love Final Fantasy. I love.
He says, or you are secretly Japanese.
Dragon Quest. I mean, Dragon Quest is my favorite. I don't think it's off-brand. I mean, if we're talking about in America, maybe, it might not be
just
everybody's,
Pepsi thing.
I guess.
All right. Great.
You
What do you got? Number 8?
Yes, I'm secretly Japanese.
So my number, we're at 8, right?
Yes.
So I inherited a Sega, and it had a whole bunch of games on it. I think we got it from a cousin, but yeah, they had some more wholesome games and some licensed games. But man, there was one that I found kind of difficult, but at the same time, I loved the hell out of it. And that was on Sega Genesis, specifically Disney's Aladdin. I don't know, man.
Oh God,
I love that game.
Great.
It was really fun, man.
I didn't think it was hard, but
Get
it
a
was really
scimitar.
good. It was really, really good.
Maybe it was like the age or something that
It
I
could
got
be.
it, but
It could
man,
be.
it was great.
It still
but for
holds
me,
up.
It was difficult.
It still holds up, bro.
Yeah.
It's still fantastic. Looks great. That's a great pick. Great
Yeah.
pick.
Yeah, I dig that one. It doesn't feel like it's quite as deep a draw following you and the history that you have of it. All I know is it was fun, man. It was based on the movie. Good times.
Dude, no, I liked it. I actually have it. I have it today. Physical copy.
But the Genesis version, man, it has to
That's
be the
what I have.
Genesis version.
I have a Genesis
Yeah.
version of it.
They did a version for the Lion King also that was kind of fun, but it wasn't nearly as good as Aladdin.
Yeah, the Aladdin
Yeah,
one was just
The
superior.
Lion King for Super Nintendo is still good, but that's hard. That gets very hard. Some of the platforming, because they don't show you where, like you're making those jumps where it's like you don't know where to jump, and you have to land on
Mhm.
stuff that's like this big, and you can't look down. So it's like, where do I go? And you give me 5 continues to complete this obstacle hell of a game. Yeah, the Genesis version is way superior to the Super Nintendo version. The sprites are better, the controls are better, the sound is better. It's a way better version. That's a really good pick, I think.
Yeah, solid pick.
Yep.
All right.
Well, thank you.
So for my number 8, it was Terminator 2, the arcade game.
Hell yeah.
Do y'all remember the arcade game?
I do.
It was a shoot 'em up game. One of those where it had the gun there.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
Yeah, well, the Sega had its own version, home version of the game, and I enjoyed it because I actually was able to get all the way through the game without having to use a ton of quarters and stuff like that. So that was a lot of fun. But I'd spend hours playing that one, and I beat it multiple times, but I still had a blast playing it over and over and over again. I loved that game, and maybe it was because I enjoyed the movie so much, but yeah, I had a good time with that game. So that's going to be my number 8 is Terminator to the arcade game on Sega Genesis.
Out of curiosity, did you have to use the Sega gun for that, or could you use the controller?
You could use the controller.
Okay.
It probably would have been better if you
gun.
had to use the Sega gun, but but no, you didn't have to. You could just play with the regular controller. So
Fair enough.
all right, Warren, what do you got at number 7?
My number 7 is Mega Man X and X2. I just wrapped them together. I mean, there's differences, of course, with all the Mega Man games, but I just played all of them. I remember I thought it was cool that you could collect the different gear that started changing Mega Man's appearance, and it had the new story where he was like far into the future and the new characters and everything. So yeah, that was a really fun game.
All right. Laps, what do you got?
X3 was cool too, but
I lumped them all in there. I
one
mean,
and two, I think is the best. I think, in my opinion.
All right.
So my
what do you got,
game,
Laps?
is TMNT 4, the Turtles in Time,
Nice.
which I thought was really, really fun. And much love to the Genesis version, man, because the Hyperstone Heist, people think it's like the same game, but it's not. It's a completely different thing, and it's a really good game as well. But I had Turtles in Time, and I played the shit out of it, and I loved it. It's one of the few beat 'em ups that, like, with the license and things, that it's fun enough to play, and you could play with your friends, and yeah, it's a good time, man. Good time, good game.
All right. Gray, what do you got next for us?
So, I got one that's probably not on your guys' list, but man, did I love this thing, and I played it way too much. It is a licensed product, and it is a beat 'em up, in the vein of like, the Turtles or Double Dragon. It's far superior than 2 movies that came out after this that I was only interested in because of this. But it's for Super Nintendo. It's Alien vs. Predator. I loved that thing for no reason. It's not great. The movements weren't the best, but still, there's something to it. It's still vastly superior than any of those AVP movies, and it is the crossover that I think that they truly need. They just need a beat 'em up game, and that's all we ever need. Yeah,
that's sad when the 16-bit fucking licensed game for Super Nintendo is better than your movies.
It's pretty plain. It's got very formulaic moves. There's not a ton you can do in it. There's not a ton of extra weapons.
Yeah, you like it, so what?
I don't know, man. I love it. To me, it's some of the best depiction of xenomorphs, and you get to see different kinds in an awesome way. And I just kind of love the animation that they were able to give these guys. So yeah, for me, the Alien vs. Predator, it nailed it. It gave me exactly what I wanted out of that.
All right. So for my number 7, I'm kind of cheating a little bit here, and that is The Amazing Spider-Man versus the Kingpin on Sega CD. Now, the reason I'm kind of cheating here is because the Sega CD version, it's still a 16-bit game. I mean, it's literally identical to its predecessor on the Sega Genesis, except because it's the Sega CD version, it's got a much better soundtrack, and the animation for the movie portions is much better.
FMVs.
There you go. So, but all of that is much better. But the gameplay itself is faster. and smoother. So I just had a lot more fun with the Sega CD version as opposed to the Sega Genesis version. But again, it's still a 16-bit game at its heart. And so that's why I say it's kind of cheating, because it's still practically identical to the Genesis version, except just a couple of small changes. But that one was a lot of fun.
Small changes?
Yeah, there was a couple small changes here and there. And they built out the world a lot more. But yeah, I just had a lot more fun with that version. So that is my
I'll allow it.
number
But
7.
yeah, I gotta say, too rich for my blood. I never got to experience the Sega CD. I wish I had.
Let's see. We are going to number 6. Warren, what do you got?
My number 6 was a Sega Genesis game, and I don't know how popular it was at the time, but I don't even know how I found it. But it was has some of my favorite things in it. It has anthropomorphic characters and rocket packs, and it was the Rocket Knight Adventures. He was like a possum.
Fantastic game.
Yeah, that game is just amazing.
Oh, dude,
I played it all the way
that
through.
Rocket Knight's still popular.
Oh, it is good, because I absolutely love that game. I don't remember hearing much about it, but I found it and I started playing it, and just it was an amazing game. I think they made a sequel, but I never got to play it. But yeah, I love that game. They should have been more to it, like a cartoon or something like that. Oh, it got a remake. Okay. Oh, Sparkster. Yeah.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Awesome, man.
Good choice.
It's a great game.
All right, what do you got, Laps? Number 6.
So number 6, I got a Genesis game, and this was one that my buddy let me borrow, and I was so pleasantly surprised by this, because I never even knew it was a thing. But what's cool now is they actually have it. If you have Switch Online, you can go play it on the Genesis. What do you call it? The Genesis emulator. It's called Crusader of Senti, and it's a Zelda style clone, right? Like a over the head Zelda style game. Dude, it's fucking phenomenal, man. The controls in are beautiful. The graphics are great, man. Like it's very fluent, like just a fun game. And it's got one of the weirdest cameos of all time. You go to this portion where it's like the beach, and Sonic the Hedgehog is just chilling on a fucking like lounging chair with a daiquiri. like, all right, that works. But the game itself is really good. Like, you got an overhead map, and you go to these different parts. You got to do a bunch of like Zelda type stuff. It's basically like a Zelda style, like a Link to the Past style game. But Crusader of Senti is fantastic. What are you talking about? I have Zelda in my thing. But this is a great game.
Oh, that's good.
It's just a preference thing, man.
I like Coke better than Pepsi. Pepsi's disgusting. It's like,
yeah, I agree with that.
Like thick sugar water. It's gross.
All right. Gray, what do you got?
Yeah. So I don't know. Mine is, it's definitely not a Pepsi pick. I'll put it that way. I don't know. It's kind of the Genesis game for me. It's what got me hooked in it. I always I don't know, had this thing against Sega, and then I don't know, I experienced this game and it's like, no, I'm wrong. I need a Sega. I can't remember what friend's house I played it at, but we ended up just playing it like all night long. It's Sonic 2. It's like kind of the OG one. I don't know. I think it was sold with a bunch of Segas back in the day.
Wouldn't the OG one be Sonic the Hedgehog?
Yeah, but you couldn't do the role, man. Like, is it really Sonic?
That's the one that was packed in with the
2
Genesis.
is where it all began. For me, the OG is 2. I understand there was an original. It's a fun prequel that sometimes I've gone back to, but no, this is where it started. So I don't know, man. For me, Sonic 2 is just a classic. I don't think I could have a top 10 list without putting it on there, considering the amount of hours that I've put into it. And goddamn, it had some real jams. I love the soundtrack to this one. I could listen to those weird ass songs like all day. Just yeah, man. Sonic 2, Classic.
All right. For me, at number 6, this is going to be my first Super NES game, and that was Mortal Kombat 2.
Yeah, it's
I
way
think,
better
Oh,
than
yeah.
Super Nintendo.
I think Mortal Kombat 2 is superior to the first game. And in fact, to this day, I think it's still my favorite Mortal Kombat game. I loved Mortal Kombat 2, especially in the arcade. But when it came to the home versions, the Super NES version was far superior to the Sega version. And again, like I said earlier, a lot of the gameplay was better because of the controller during that time. So yeah, I much prefer the Mortal Kombat 2 there. I love the additions in the number of characters that you got, and of course, every character had, what was it, 2 fatalities as opposed to 1.
Yeah, they had
And
2
so-
fatalities, the babalities, the animalities.
Yeah, they had all that stuff.
All that stuff.
So yeah, it was just a lot of fun. So yeah, I loved Mortal Kombat 2. All right, Warren, we're getting now into our top 5.
Yes.
What do you got? What do you got at number 5?
Number 5 is one of my all-time favorites, and it's Star Fox.
Nice.
And for being a game, essentially, we're just flying around a bunch of triangles and squares. It was just so much fun. I loved the sequel to it. I really wish Nintendo would have done more with it. I almost was like, should I buy a Switch 2 just so I could play the remastering of Star Fox 2? I think they remastered. But yeah,
They
the first
just put it
time-
out. They just put it out. Like
Yeah.
on the emulation thing.
Yeah. Star Fox was just so awesome. I loved playing. I don't know, was it just the flying mechanics or what the deal was? What's up, Ichthus? But yeah, it was just so much fun. Even though it was kind of a rail shooter where you were flying along and you're just moving left to right, but it was still a blast to play. And yeah, I love that one.
All right, good choice. What do you got
It's
last?
definitely one of my runners-ups.
Oh yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
What do you got laps at number 5?
Street Fighter 2 Turbo for the Super Nintendo.
Nice.
This is where the second portion of my obsession with this game started, because it started in the arcade, and then when they actually put a competent port of the game, the original one, to Super Nintendo, and then when Street Fighter 2 Turbo came out, and I was like, okay, here we go, this is it. And yeah, it's incredible. I then you get into the alpha and stuff like that. Now, if you have a Street Fighter 2 or Street Fighter Alpha 2 cart for Super Nintendo, you are a very lucky human being. I don't have mine anymore, but yeah, I wish I did. But Street Fighter 2 Turbo is phenomenal. Great fighting game. I liked the Street Fighter more than Mortal Kombat, but they're both great games. So, but Street Fighter 2 Turbo is fantastic.
All right. Gray, what are you going to shock us with at number 5?
So it's probably not going to be on your guys' list, and that's for good reason. But what can I say? It's 2 of like my favorite franchises again that got melded into one weird ass game and then put to the NES system. So RoboCop vs Terminator. For me, I don't know. There's something about this game. I've just spent hundreds of hours in this. It's weird. The controls are kind of clunky, but it works because you're RoboCop. He is literally clunky. Like I don't know. It kind of works. And then the Terminator seem very threatening in this. And man, I love this particular style of run and gun. But yeah, I spent way too many hours on this. I couldn't tell you exactly why it's in my top 5, other than man,
No one can tell you.
hundreds of hours into it. Just 2 of my favorite things right there. And both of them work well in the way that they're intended to for me. So it just, chef's kiss versus any actual movie that they would have done trying to bring these 2 together. It wouldn't have worked. But this, it did. It gave me exactly what I wanted out of this.
All right. For me, my number 5, and I think this particular game is good on both systems. I just mostly, of course, played it on the Sega Genesis version. But that is Maximum Carnage. I love
hell yeah.
Maximum Carnage, and I love the fact that
That
you
one
can
was
play
awesome.
as Spider-Man or as Venom. I thought it was just a great game. You had cameos by multiple Marvel characters in the game, as well as the soundtrack was done by Green Jelly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Forgot about that.
So yeah, Maximum Carnage. I thought it was just a good, beat 'em up game. It was a lot of fun, and yeah, I thought it was solid on both systems. I could play it on either one. Again, I played it mostly on the Sega, but I had a great time with that game. So yeah, that's going to be my number 5. Warren, what do you got at number 4?
My number 4 is essentially just the Sonic the Hedgehog games, 1, 2, 3, and then Sonic and Knuckles. They were just a blast to play. I believe 3 introduced Knuckles, didn't it? And then it was Sonic and Knuckles where you played more as Knuckles or something along those lines. Played as Tails, and it was just a lot of fun playing those games on there. They were really beautiful looking games, and they were a lot different than the Mario ones, so it wasn't like it was just kind of Genesis's clone. And it was just a blast.
You didn't mention Sonic 3D.
3D. Which one was that?
Didn't they have Sonic Pinball too?
Sonic
yes.
Pinball.
Oh, Spinball.
I remember
You're right.
that one. Yes, that one was good. The pinball one was good. I don't remember Sonic 3D.
Sonic and Knuckles was awesome though. I definitely loved that one. That comes close second to me. I know it's my wife's favorite.
All right. Lapsed. What do you got at number 4?
Number 4, I have Super Metroid.
Oh hell yeah!
And I still play this game to this day. I actually just beat it like 2 weeks ago, just because I was bored.
Nice.
And it's like it's weird how much, like, when you play a game so much and you remember everything and where to go and what to do. And that's one of those games, man. I mean, it revolutionized a lot of those style of games. Like Castlevania was just like, all right, we're stealing that, and just completely made games like that for the next how many ever years. But Super Metroid did everything the right way. The atmosphere is great. The levels are great. The control is phenomenal. What do you mean I'm on my heroic arc?
Well, you finally chose Coke.
I dare you to go play Crusader of Senti and tell me that is not an amazing game. I dare you. I will. I double dog dare you.
All right.
But yeah,
good choice.
It's a great game. Super Metroid is phenomenal. I play it at least once or twice a year.
All right.
It's definitely
Very
one of
good
my
choice.
honorable mentions. I never owned that one. Otherwise, it would probably be higher on my list.
All right. Gray, number 4.
Yeah. So I guarantee this isn't on any of your lists.
Jesus Christ. We get it.
Well, it's not. But what can I say? It should be. It's unlike any other game that I've ever played before. It has its own weird ass twist on it. So yeah, it was at a weird time when Super Nintendo was teaming up with Nickelodeon. There's this weird ass game called Rocco's Modern Life, Spunky's Dangerous Day. It's super weird. Spunky just wants to kill himself, kind of like Lemmings, and you've got to go ahead of him and solve a bunch of puzzles and make his way safe.
RC Cola now.
Dude, this isn't even cola, man. This is its own thing. This is Pilk, man. It's weird. But yeah, man, it's a puzzle game unlike any other that I've ever seen. And yeah, man, there's something about it. I just wasted way too many hours saving this weird little dog. And they did weird ass shit. Like for some reason, the opening screen, if you don't hit start on it, you can just kind of shape I can't remember if it was Nintendo or Nickelodeon logo. It was the bone, so I'm guessing it was Nickelodeon. But it's weird. I also spent way too many hours just doing that. It's a weird ass game. It's truly addictive, but it's a puzzle platformer unlike any other that I've ever seen. Closely, I guess you could compare it to Lemmings, but it's not like that. It's different, man. It's not going to be on anybody else's list, but goddamn, I love that. And then it had this amazing soundtrack to it too. That's also oddly addictive. So
I don't believe
yeah.
you.
Oh, dude, it's awesome, man. You should seriously check it out. I'll go get the cartridge right now. I've got it somewhere in the front.
I have an arcade.
Oh,
machine
dude,
right
it's
here that
great.
I guarantee you it's on. And I
Oh,
will
come
go
on,
check out
man.
the amazing soundtrack.
Ah.
I'll
All
check
right.
it out. I'll give it its due.
All right. Fair enough, as you would say. All right. For me, my number 4 is going to be Super Mario Kart.
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, it's a fun, solid game. It's if it wasn't so popular, it wouldn't have spawned so many sequels that it has. I mean, it's just fun. The original one, I remember that I would literally go over to my friend's house just so we could play that game. We would have fun with that one, playing for hours. Again, it wasn't something that I owned because I didn't have the Super NES, but I made time to go play that game. I had a good time with that one.
I will add on to this because it's my number 3. But yeah,
go ahead and piggyback up.
Our family is my family is almost like stopped talking to each other over Super Mario Kart matches and tournaments. My sister-in-law plays the newest version, and she'll start cussing at us if she starts losing. Like that, we have played that game so much. I think every iteration of it we played at one point or the other, and it's just so much fun. It's such a great game, and out of that whole entire genre, I don't think many other ones have even come close to as good. No one can really capture the way that Mario Kart runs compared to everything else. It's such a good game.
Heck yeah.
I like the we have the version where you can like scan your room and make your own tracks out of your house.
Oh,
and
that's
we play
awesome.
that quite a bit. That's fun. But yeah, Mario Kart's one of those ones, dude, that like, yeah, I can't play any of the new ones with anybody because they get real mad real quick. Real mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You knock your brother out with a red shell, and he's not talking to you for a while.
That's cool though. It's a good family game apparently.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's my number 4. Obviously, you said Warren, that's your number 3. So Laps,
Yeah.
we're back to you.
Which one are we on now?
Number 3.
Oh, number 3 is Chrono Trigger. I think Chrono Trigger is like they started with Secret of Mana and that like almost style, how they had the RPG kind of switching over to action based, but then they went back to turn based kind of with Chrono Trigger. And I mean it's honestly it's like what happens when Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy, what happens when Hori and Sakaguchi make a game? What does it look like? Well, that's what it looks like. And I believe like because Square gathering up Enix, like Enix would get the shittier end of the stick for quite a while. But I mean, it's how it goes, you know what I mean? Like it depends on where your biggest market is. And I think Chrono Trigger is one of those games that you can play pretty much at any point in time because it's not super long. You don't have to spend like 40 hours, which you can if you want to. You can. But you could beat it in like 20 hours, 25 hours, you know, and you could play the story and you can really like get into it, and the characters are done really well, and just the whole time aspect of it is always neat. Time travel and like dimension travel and stuff is always a cool type thing, man, because you want it to be real. You know, like you want it to be something that we can do. And when you suspend disbelief and you go into your little video game worlds, it's like something really neat. And plus, the frog will always kick ass, man. X-Blade. It's dope.
All right. Gray, what do you got at number 3?
Okay, so if you've heard of this game, you probably don't appreciate it, and you probably haven't heard of it.
That's
But
a lot
there
of
was
assumptions.
We'll
You
see.
assume a lot.
But there was a 2008 movie starring Ron Perlman, John Malkovich, and Thomas Jane, based off of the same IP. The movie really sucked. But not only was this based on a card game, but it was also a Magic the Gathering type card game. But it was also based off of a role playing, or they had role playing, but a tabletop game where you could have these little pewter figures. And man, I was super nerdy into those when I was a kid. I scrimped and saved and bought like these way overpriced little tiny miniatures. So when I found out that they were going to make this game for Sega, it was all I kind of dreamed about for the longest time. And every other adaptation of this, it didn't quite work for me. But they ported it into a Contra style game. It's called Doom Troopers. You got to play as one of two characters, either Mitch Hunter or Max Steiner. And man, they're characters that I absolutely loved from this card game. And I happen to have a little painted figure of like each of these guys. So I don't know. My nostalgic value is through the roof for this. But yeah, it doesn't get great reviews. It's a Contra style run and gun thing. And yeah, it's just, it hits me in the nostalgic values. And just, yeah, it is kind of the perfect adaptation of this, where I've watched a couple different kind of fan things on it, and then other interpretations to try and bring it to life. And yeah, I got to say, this Sega game is the one for me. It is also on Super Nintendo. Something about that one didn't seem right to me, but the Sega one really kind of worked for me. So yeah, Doom Troopers, probably never heard of it. Am I wrong, Lapsed?
No, I know exactly what game you're talking about. Next, you're going to bring up like Metal Soldier. Be like, no one really appreciates this game except for me. I'm the only person who knows of this game. Yes.
Well, fair enough. I think it is definitely underappreciated.
No, it's not a very super popular game, but yes, I do. I do know what you're talking about. I have played it. I don't have really anything to say. It is a very it's like you said, it's like a Contra style game with basically Double Dragon type characters. It should have been Bimmy and Jimmy, and it would have been better. But
if it makes you feel better, Gray, I've never heard of it.
That's all that matters.
It's strange. It took me a long time to like be able to track down a copy of it, and it was well after they were out. It's not super popular, and it didn't get good ratings, so I wouldn't expect many people to know it. But it's a fun game. The artwork in it is amazing, and it's quite gory. So hell yeah. Bob,
Okay.
what you got at 3, sir?
All right. At number 3, this is my last Super NES game, and that is Super Mario World.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's solid. It builds off of everything that came before, and of course, it adds a few other things. You find you meet Yoshi for the first time. It was a lot of fun. Same thing. This is not one I played a whole lot of, but I always had a good time playing it. Again, I would go to my friends to specifically play this game. Just didn't get to play enough of it, so I never got to beat it or anything like that. But I always had a blast playing that one. It's a solid game, and it's so solid that so many elements from that game still make it into pop culture. I mean, they're still calling that stuff out in the Mario movies. So yeah, it's a solid game. So that one's going to be my number 3.
Probably my favorite Mario game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's really good. Warren, what do you got at number 2?
My number 2 is Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past.
So I'll piggyback with you. That's my number 2.
Yeah, it's
so go ahead.
Just an amazing Zelda game. It was one of the last top downs. I think they did another one, and
they did a couple more. They did they had the Game Boy versions, but they also had the Game Boy Advance, the Minish Cap, which is phenomenal, great game. They also have, which I loved, the 3DS Link Between Worlds, which I think is phenomenal. It's like, it's basically that world, but you get all new powers, and there's a whole bunch of stuff. If you love A Link to the Past, play A Link Between Worlds, because man, it is so fucking awesome. Both.
Yeah, it was just such a fun game.
Yeah,
oh,
and then they did the Link's Awakening again for the Switch.
I have that one for Switch. That was a nice remake.
It's a good one.
They did
a fun one. Yeah.
But yeah, Link to the Past was just a really fun game, and it was such an upgrade from one. And it was just really a lot of fun. I played all the way through that one too. It's just such a blast.
Yeah, I think they figured it out. Like kind of what my thing with where, and this is nothing against anybody, where a lot of people shit on 2, right? But I looked at it as they didn't really have a base yet of what worked. You know what I mean? They were reaching out, but then when they came out with A Link to the Past, they were like, okay, we know what people like in the game now, and we're gonna give them that, but totally revamped. And man, just the both worlds and stuff like that. And I like 2. I like 2 quite a bit, actually. But there's just stuff in that game where you just, like, if you didn't have a Nintendo Power or something, you wouldn't know what to do. Where in this game, everywhere to go. It tells you, like, hey, you need to go here, but it doesn't make things super easy. I mean, it is now for people, if you've played it a bunch, but it's still fun, man. It's still such a good game. I love it. I love it. That was my number 2 as well.
All right. So that's both of y'all's number 2. Gray, what do you got at number 2?
Yeah. All right. So specifically for Sega, again, I'm a simp of this franchise, and what they were able to do here is what I wanted out of the movie, and it wasn't exactly what I got. But Alien 3 for Sega is just, oh man, it's such an amazing game for me. I dig that one. The ability to kind of switch between weapons, just everything about this is what I wanted. And just, I've wanted a version of kind of an Alien game like this since, and there hasn't been one that kind of captured my attention and just made me love and hate it at the same time. And just, yeah, man, I just absolutely love this particular Alien 3. They have it for other systems. It is not the same. It doesn't have the same amount of levels. There's nothing quite like this one. Just, yeah, man, Alien 3 for Sega.
My favorite Alien game is for the PS VR 2. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable, dude. It's like you're literally playing out a movie. It's so awesome. It's so fun.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I had Alien 3 as in my honorable mentions. I really liked Alien 3. It's what you wanted Alien 3 to be.
Yeah.
And, it's really cool. And I loved at the end, like if you ran out of time, you'd see all the prisoners, you'd see the aliens popping out of their chests and whatnot. So, and it wasn't like they would just show one like in a still shot or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They would go through and show it happening to each one that you didn't rescue. So
they made the stakes real.
Yeah. So it was really cool. Alien 3. Good choice. For my
what you got at 2?
Yeah, for my number 2. I mentioned earlier that I thought the sports games on the Sega Genesis were better. You had the NHL games. I thought NBA Live was a lot of fun. The Madden games were a blast, the college football games. But there was one football game
I know what you're picking.
Stood above them all. And that was Mutant League Football. That game was just awesome.
Oh, so cool.
It was. I mean, you could bribe the referee and he would flag you for chewing gum or spitting or something like that. And then in order to get the referee off your back, you'd have to kill the referee. And then you could have the ball as like a bomb and you would throw it and you'd let your receiver purposefully miss it so you could take out their best cornerback or whatever the case was. The defense could go and have like an audible play where they would just start fighting before the play started, and they could come and take out your best player. So
it's
it was
like
cool,
where
but
strategy was actually to kill enough of the other team where they couldn't
Yes.
play.
yes, exactly. It was really just a fun game, and all the characters were like giant, dragon, lizard monsters, skeletons, ogres, these types of characters, and they were. It was just a lot of fun. This game, you could play in wastelands or ice, tundras and all sorts of stuff, and every field had its own challenges to play on. So it was a lot of fun. And then, of course, the players were based off of actual NFL players, but they would have their own names. Like instead of Bo Jackson, it was Bones Jackson, and Joe Montana was Joe Magician, and he would throw the ball to Scary Ice, and stuff like that. So it was a lot of fun. That was the game to me that stood out amongst all the sports games. They also had a hockey version, Mutant League Hockey, that was a lot of fun. But the football one I thought was the best.
It wasn't as good, but it was fun.
Yes, it was fun.
The Mutant
Just
League
not
football
nearly
was
as
so
good,
much
but
better
it
because it was
but
more
the football-
well thought out and
Yes.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Exactly. The football one was just awesome. So
Mhm.
that is my number 2. And I doubt it's on anybody's list. It's what you would call the Jackie Brown of sports games.
I had that one, man. It was one of those weird cartridges that had that like yellow tab or whatever on it.
Yeah.
Like, they were different. Yeah, man. I like that one. As far as football games go, I think that's my favorite Sega one for sure.
Yeah,
I
it was a
love
lot
that
of
one.
fun. Very different and unique. So it stood out amongst all the other sports games. All right, so now we are getting to our number 1s. So, Warren, what do you got at number 1?
Number 1 has a special place in my heart. I think
Is it by the aorta?
yes, it is. It's right next to that closed off little artery that's getting more closed every day. It's I think Laps mentioned it is probably the best Mario game created. It's at least my favorite Mario game, and it's Super Mario Brothers World. I remember when it came out, not only is it just a beautiful game, but it kind of reminds me of like how the first Zelda and then the Link to the Past, it kind of reminded me of like it built on Super Mario Bros. 3 and just added so much more. It looked beautiful. And Nintendo Power ran a comic book series based off of this graphic novel here, which was based completely off of that video game. And this is one of the things that got me into comic books hardcore. I was drawing all of these characters from the Nintendo Powers, and I just absolutely love Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers World.
Were you drawing Nestor and his adventures as well?
No, I was not.
God damn it!
But yeah, I was drawing Yoshi in different clothing and stuff. I was drawing Mario, Bowser, all that stuff. I absolutely loved that game, and it made a big impact on me when it came out. And I still think it's one of the best Mario games to date. I love all the other ones, and the 3D ones are great too, but this one was just special.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think about it. They packaged it with the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
And it had to show off what the new system could do. It had to show off all the colors, like all the things that made that system different. And man, it did. It's crazy how, like, to this day, all the Mario games are still smooth. They're still smooth, man. Even when you play with that janky ass controller, that's still amazing. When you play with one of these, or one of these, or even if you play with one of these, even the lesser known, the Wii U, all the stuff, like they still hold up, man.
Yeah. I remember also too the tragedy of having to dump Yoshi so you can make that jump. Like jump off of him, and Yoshi falls to his death. But hey,
Well, there's
you can
so
still
many
find
keys
another.
you can get with doing that without having to get the exclamation blocks.
That's true.
Not worth it.
It's way worth it.
It is not worth it.
Fuck Yoshi.
How dare you?
Just find another one. There's like a bunch
You
of them.
stupid
Yeah.
island.
It's not the same. I raised that Yoshi. I fed him from an egg.
Most of the time, I just got him out of a box that had a question mark on it.
I mean, thank you for taking a Yoshi off the streets, but that's nah, man. No.
All right. A great choice, Warren, for your number one. Lapsed, what do you got?
It'd be Final Fantasy VI, but here it would be Final Fantasy III. Yeah, I mean, the leap. Final Fantasy II, which was 4 here, or which was 2 here, but what was 4 in Japan, actual 4. The leap in what it did, the ability to tell story, and still a very heartfelt story, and some of the topics that they tackled in that game were like very. I don't even know if they would do it now. I don't know. I mean, you can't even say the words, some of them now that they tackle there. So it's like I thought it was really great game about loss and how to cope with that and what happens when you lose. And not only do they lose people in the game, but they also, it's one of the first times we actually see the villain do what he said he was going to do. And he does it twice. You know, and that's true. You could let Sid die on the little island with Celeste. You could let him die. But you got to get them fish, man. You got to get them fish. But yeah, there's and you could let Shadow die. That's right, on Kefka Island. If you jump in before waiting for him, you're right, Orange. I totally forget. I remembered the Sid one. I forgot about the Shadow one. You are correct. But it's like one of the first times the villain does what he says he's going to do. He actually does it twice. He breaks the world and then he destroys it. And you get to see what happens afterward. And the thing that sucked is if you got the special edition of the game, it came with a guide, right? Which is cool, which is awesome. But literally on the front, it had the map of the regular, and then on the back, it had a map and it said World of Ruin. So if you saw that, you knew it was coming at some point. Thank God I was just only had enough money to get the stupid game. Because back then, that game was $86 after tax.
Damn.
Just like Street Fighter 2, I paid $86 on day one. But yeah, everybody talks about the opera scene in Final Fantasy. I'll just call it 3 because that's what they call it on the Super Nintendo. But I thought there was some other scenes that were really, really messed up. The tower when Strago joins the cult whenever you have to go get him. That's fucked up, man. That's fucked up. You know, and you just go there and they're like these sad weirdos just marching around like in drones, and it's, oh my God, dude. It does. Like the opera, dude, it does. Because if you think about the opera scene, right? And you think about the lyrics, and then you think about the scene we were talking about before, Orange, with Celeste and Sid. And if you don't feed Sid, right? The amount of loss that she experiences and being basically almost like Kefka being, you know, experimented on by the Empire. It's pretty fucked up, man. It's pretty fucked up. And you find out like Locke kind of has feelings for her, but can't get over his girlfriend who's basically in a coma type dead type thing. And there's like she's still in this basement and like he's been basically abandoned from his village and has been trying to look for a cure for it. It's crazy, dude. It's a crazy game. Very, very well done game. Yeah.
All right. Good choice. Very good choice. What do you got, Gray, as your number one?
Well, what can I say? I like your guys' number one choices. Some are better than others. I respect Warren's a little bit more. And that's why I'm copying him completely by saying also Super Mario World. For all the reasons that he said, as Laps brought up, like it was sold with the system. If you're doing that, you better have something that can show off what the system can do. Man, it did to me. The first time I played it just kind of blew my mind what you could do versus like a regular NES. And then man, I think I've spent thousands of hours in there. Every time I've kind of thought that I learned everything about the game, all of a sudden I learned there was more to it. I think the first time I beat it, I didn't know anything about like the Star World. Going up there, I just man, there's so much more to this. Yeah, special world. Excuse me. You're right. It was a very special world, and I don't know, man. There's just so much more about this game than I think an average Mario game. Just to me, this is the pinnacle of Mario. I like a lot of the other ones, but this was kind of it for me. So I don't know. When you ask me what is your favorite NES or SNES game, it has to be this. And I've just spent way too many hours in it. I have raised too many Yoshis not to appreciate this, man. What can I say?
Sorry,
I absolutely love that
blue
game,
Yoshi. I'm throwing that green Yoshi in the garbage.
Well, yeah, but you know, it's it operates so much better.
You know who else was a purist? Hitler.
Well,
Hitler was a purist.
I'm not throwing him in the garbage.
Yoshi
I'm going to give him an
Hitler.
apple. I'm going to let him go.
You're Hitler.
How dare you?
There are pits full of the bodies of Yoshis that I dumped trying to make bad jumps.
It's like, thine green Yoshi, get in the garbage.
Bob,
right.
what you got at number one, sir?
All right. Well, since y'all are all murderers over here, I'm going I'm going with the game where you're saving the creatures and freeing them from their mechanical prisons, and that is Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I think
Nice.
Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is just a blast. It's superior, I think, to the first one. I think all of the Sonic games are pretty good, but 2 is my favorite. I just had a blast with that one. It's a lot better if you're playing without Tails. If you're by yourself, if you got somebody else to control Tails, then it's a little bit easier, especially when you get into the special stages trying to get the emeralds, because Tails just keep running into those bombs and lose all the rings for you, and you're like,
yeah.
God. So it was always better if you had somebody else.
But if you're playing one player and someone else is controlling Tails, you could just beat the bosses because Tails can't die.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
he can't die, so you could just let him do his thing. But yeah, those special stages were better if you had somebody controlling Tails. And I just had a blast with this one. This is a game I still have fun with. You'd mentioned Laps about how when you go back and you play a game and you kind of remember where to go and everything, even though it's been so long. That's kind of the way I am with Sonic 2, remembering little tricks that I did when I was a teenager. I still remember them. And when I played it on my Sega Mini for the first time, I was like, oh yeah, I remember this. And just, it was like
my son, David, he is obsessed with Sonic. He is so fucking good at those games. Those goddamn fucking bonus stages with you make the little dots blue. He just sits there and he's like, deet, 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 deet. I get into one and I just die. I'm just like, oh well, that's that for me. He's fucking amazing at those games.
But yeah, so for me, that one's my favorite. But I think they're all good. I mean, Orange is mentioning Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles as well. I think both of those are fantastic games as well. It's just for me personally, Sonic 2 is the one that stands out the most to me. That's the one I played more. So
I think the only good game or one of the only good games for the 32X, Knuckles Chaotix, that's a fantastic game. They did a lot like Sonic CD, like Michael Jackson doing the freaking soundtrack and shit. Like, it's wild, dude. Like, they did Sonic CD is crazy. It's a lot of fun, but it's really cool. But I have some honorable mentions.
Yeah, go ahead.
We'll get to those. So for the Super Nintendo, I have some honorable mentions. I have Soul Blazer and Illusion of Gaia, which are in the ActRaiser world. Both are really good games. Earthbound, I have, which I'm so pissed because I had Earthbound and I had Mother 2 for the Game Boy, one of them. I can't remember if it was however it went. I had one of them. And because I saw it and I asked the guy, I was like, what is this? You know, and he was like, oh, it's the Japanese first Earthbound or whatever. And I was like, oh, he's like, that's what it's called there. It's called Mother. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Well, I ended up getting one of the big giant Earthbounds, like with the big fucking box. And my brother, not only did he take it, but he lost it. Do you know how much that thing is fucking worth?
Jeez.
And me with my collection problem, mine would still be in like perfect condition. But I had Earthbound on there, Mega Man X, the franchise, the Super Mario franchise, Breath of Fire 1 and 2. I think, yeah, exactly. Orange. See, said the big box is rare as fuck. Exactly. Yes, I know.
So rare, I didn't even know about it.
Yeah, I'm so pissed at him. Like I said, one day I'll have a show with him and you'll just see that it'll be an airing of grievances.
It'll be
Breath of Fire
cathartic.
1 and 2.
It'll be great.
Which was like Capcom's going into the turn-based RPG game. And it's great, man. It's a really good game. Like both of them are really good. F-Zero I had on there. Donkey Kong Country, Super Mario RPG. Now, 3 games here that came out near the end of the Super Nintendo. So the graphics on this were amazing. Star Ocean. You go back and you look the amount of stuff that you can do in Star Ocean, which it is a RPG, but it's a little bit different. Like when you run into the characters in the overworld, you control your guys and like you actually do. It's more like an action game. There's like a set piece right here, and you just run together and you have spells and all the stuff. But man, it's fantastic. They actually remade Star Ocean, First Departure and Second Story R. And they're both really, really good. Lufia 2, which is really, really good. And probably one of the more rarer games for Super Nintendo. And I got this, I think I told this story. It was only available through Blockbuster. And I kept mine, and Blockbuster shut down, so I never paid them. Was Hagane. Hagane is, man, it's like, Hagane is unbelievable, and it is super hard, but man, does it look good. It's a lot of fun, and it's a very, very hard game, very frustrating, and if you get a chance to go play it on emulation or something, go play it. It is really freaking cool. And a couple of the Genesis games I had on here was Shining Force 2, the Sonic franchise, and Shinobi 3, and then 2 games that I think don't get enough credit. One was Gunstar Heroes. Gunstar Heroes is so much fun. If you play 2 players, I believe it's available on Switch Online for free on the Genesis emulator. It's fantastic. The controls are great. It's a run and gun game, kind of like Metal Slug and other games like that. But the next game, I think everybody should play, and it was only available in America through the Sega channel or the cartridge. I can't remember. I don't know if it ever came to America, but Alien Soldier. Alien Soldier is one of the best looking Genesis games, and it's just a boss rush. You have these little teeny tiny stages where you fight some enemies, and then you just fight bosses and bosses and bosses, and you get a bunch of no, it's not Wily Wars. Wily Wars is good. I definitely like the Mega Man Wily Wars. It's different. It's a different take, but I like it. But Alien Soldier, go play it. That's actually on Switch Online as well on the Genesis emulator part. Go play it. You have this little alien guy, and you could pick 4 guns. You could pick like a regular shooting gun, a spread gun, a homing gun, a fire gun, and then these 2 different type of laser type guns that just shoot this like straight laser. You can jump, and then you can like hang in midair, or you could double jump and flip up to the ceiling of the level. Then you could flip back down. You could jump up in the air, and then when enemies come at you, you can do this like warp that goes in between them, like the shadow move. And if you store up enough energy, you can use the shadow move and basically destroy what's on the stage. But the bosses in that game are incredible. The graphics are incredible. I was actually, when me and Warren were talking earlier, I was playing it while we were talking. It's so much fun, man. It's such a good game. But those were my.
I remember that game. That that's an interest. It just brought me a huge flashback.
So good.
Dude, I gotta check that one out
So
again.
good.
I'm surprised
So
nobody mentioned Shaq Fu yet. Come on, Shaq Fu.
Well,
I had NBA
those are games.
Jam. That
NBA
was
Jam.
a lot of fun with, and also
Mhm.
Killer Instinct.
Killer
Which one?
Instinct, so good.
Yeah, Killer Instinct.
Okay.
Yeah, that one. Was
Played way too much of that.
really-
All right. Well, you got, what do you got, Gray? Any honorable mentions?
Sure. There's a weird one, but it's got a great name. B.O.B. Bob. Come on, man. It's a weird game where you're this robot who's just looking to go on a date, but it somehow crash lands. It's weird. But yeah, that one's kind of a weird, fun platformer. I think that was only Super Nintendo. I've only played it on Super Nintendo. There's one that I really dug at the time, and I haven't gone back to it, but Zombies Ate My Neighbors. I just remember
Great
really
game.
liking that one back in the game, back in the day. But yeah, man. The only other one I remember multiple times, like at a sleepover, just staying up all night playing this game. I remember loving it, but I haven't gone back to it for a while. I remember you could be like, I think 2 dudes, a chick, or this guy on rollerblades, and it was this weird kind of beat 'em up game. But Streets of Rage, specifically Streets of Rage 2. I
Streets of
loved
Rage
that
2,
game
that's
back in the
super
day.
popular, man. Super popular.
I loved that one, but yeah, didn't quite love the other Streets of Rage. But Streets of Rage 2, that was awesome. But
All right.
yeah, I think that's all my runners up.
Other
Other than
than
what you guys have already
there's a
mentioned.
really good multiplayer game that I forgot to mention, and you wouldn't think it unless you played it, and that's Goof Troop. Goof Troop, it has some of the best multiplayer co-op shit that you can do, and it is fun, man. It's a great game. But yeah, Goof Troop.
All right. Let's see. Just some of the ones that I had. Alien 3 was one I already mentioned. Ghostbusters I thought was pretty good. That one was different than some of the previous versions that were out there. NBA Jam was also pretty good. Columns I had fun with. It was kind of Sega's version of Tetris, but let's see. Golden Axe and Golden Axe 2 I thought were fun.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Those were great.
Altered Beast was good.
Power up.
I really enjoyed Evander Holyfield Real Deal Boxing. I had a good time
Dude,
with
that
one.
was a great game.
Yeah. Especially because you could go like through a whole career mode and whatnot, and depending if you were the champ or not, they would show you how much you would get paid for each fight and whatnot. So it was cool.
There was another boxing game for Sega. It was called something Heavyweights. That was really, really good.
Don't remember.
Undeniable Heavyweight something. If anybody's in the chat that remembers, really, really good boxing game. Because I liked Evander Holyfield boxing too. The sprites were immense in that game, and I love the flash punches, man, where you get him, and then it would flash, and you could just knock him out. It was great, man.
Yeah,
so much fun.
I also had Home Alone, which I thought was fun. I think if there was anything else.
Never got to play any of the Home Alone games.
Yeah, Home Alone was fun because instead of just trying to defend one house, you were defending the whole neighborhood.
Oh, that's cool.
So you could go around and set traps in all the different houses and whatnot, and then you build little guns based on like if you collected a rubber band or like a crossbow or all, and whatever you put together, you could build a weapon out of that and stuff. And of course, the whole point of it was you had to last through a certain point, and you'd have to make sure that at least one house remained before by the time the police took the wet bandits.
Did you ever see the hilarious theory that John Malkovich in what's that movie with him and Clint Eastwood where he's tries to kill the what's it called? Not Clear and Present Danger. What's it called? where Clint Eastwood's like the Secret Service guy.
In the Line of Fire.
In the Line of Fire, where
That's the
Kevin McAllister actually is John Malkovich. He grew up and made the plastic gun, and he's out to kill the president. In like an alternate reality.
I hadn't heard that theory, but I heard the ones that he was actually Jigsaw from the Saw movies.
Yeah.
So, and then Gray, you already mentioned Streets of Rage 2. That one was really good also. So those are going to be my honorable mentions.
I challenge people to go play Crusader of Senti. I'm telling you. I am telling you. Go play it. If you have the Switch and you have their online thing and you have the Genesis emulator, go play it. I guarantee you will like it. If you like Zelda: A Link to the Past, you will like this game.
All right. You guys got anything else before we close up with some social media and plug whatever we got to plug?
No, just awesome to go back to these games, man. I want to dive back into a bunch of them, especially your guys' recommendations.
All right. So I think that pretty much does it for the night. So let's go ahead and go around the room here. Warren, what do you got going on that you'd like to let the audience know about?
Follow me on my YouTube channel. Tomorrow, since I'm off work, I will probably be doing a big stream working on more pages of my next comic book. I'm essentially drawing my entire comic book on live, so you can watch the past ones and watch the current ones. You can join me. You can talk, ask questions about it. You can learn about the process of at least how I make comic books. So I've been doing that. Saturday and Sunday, I will be doing live draws. And then on Monday, me and Melvin Cruz, the creator of Dead the Grim Reaper, will be doing DC Absolute characters. I'm going to be doing Catwoman. I believe he's doing Batman. And and then it's just more squirrel stuff. So follow me there in the description. There's a link to my comic book and The Adventures of Sig and Joe. And if you want to see the process of making a comic book, then follow me on YouTube and you get to watch it live and become a part of it.
All right.
Oh yeah.
You can also read Warren's comic at Global Comics. The link is in the description.
Perfect. All right. Good deal, Warren. Laps, what do you got going on?
Well, hopefully not going to the hospital now that the color has returned to my face. Not much, just work, man. I've been working. I think I'm just stressed out from work. To be honest, I have been working like 16 hours a day for the past like 6 days, and it is just I am just not happy.
Yeah,
and then they were like, "Hey, we need you to switch some things up." And I'm like what? And they're like, "Well, the billing team is really far behind, and since like you can do that in your sleep, we need you to do like 100 shipments a day and also do your regular job." And I'm like,
"Jeez,
what?
Man."
I'm like, "Excuse me?" And they're like, "Well, if you could do that, that would be great." And I'm like, "Fuck." So yeah,
oh man,
I'm gonna do that this weekend, which would be a lot of fun.
Man.
Well, don't overdo it, man. All right, Gray, what do you got going on?
Just living life and stuff, and looking forward to next weekend, America's weekend. Looking forward to the next show where I think we're going through like patriotic films or something like that. So that's the next thing on my calendar. So definitely looking forward to that. What about you, Bob? What you got going on, sir?
Well, I just put out a review of Supergirl, so go over to the channel and check that out. It was rough. This past week I did also on Dad's Turn to Talk, we talked Toy Story 5. Next week on Dad's Turn to Talk, we're going to be talking Beverly Hills Cop 2. That'll be
have me on whenever you do Supergirl.
I don't know if we're going to do Supergirl because I don't know if Derek's going to do it.
Derek will do it. He'll do it.
Yeah, it's rough. He hasn't decided yet if he's going to do it or not. He was telling me that he's considering it. He says because we could probably get some good entertainment out of it, but at the same time, he's like, I don't know if I'm going to do this. But yeah, if we do, I'll let you know.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Let's see what else we got going on. Of course, next week you can find me here on the last panel. You can on the MSK show on Monday. I think we're reviewing Supergirl. So I get to talk about it more than once.
That should be
So
very
you-
insightful to
You
hear
get to
his
talk
review on
to
Supergirl.
him about You get to talk about Supergirl with a super gay. Like, it's gonna be so much fun for you.
Oh yeah. And then of course you can find me over on Criticless, and you can find me over on X. But I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. We did have a lot of fun going over these games. I know it's a trip down memory lane for all of us, and we hope that you'll join us next week as we do list off our top 5 favorite patriotic films for July 4th. Until then, we hope everybody has a good night and a safe week. We'll see you next week.